The interactive section was necessary to clarify the issue of changes in the Mtef
market. And I think we should be very, very careful as members of government quoting it excessively. Yes, that's the market for the man on the street who wants $100 or $200. But if you aggregate the amount, the volume that passes through the black market and compare it to the official market, it's minuscule. But that is the rate in everybody's mind, and that is what is driving the inflation. Now, the challenge for us, well, more for the central bank, but the challenge for the economic management team is what is the true price discovery for the Naira? If you look at purchasing power parity, it is clear that the Naira should be valued between 305 and 315. And there are a number of economists that have done this work. You can compute it.
Of your borrowing plan. Now, we have an issue. To deal with our issue of recession, the basic thing is to think about production, which helps to bring down our inflation. And you can only think of that when you make credit accessible at affordable rate. Now, the issue, therefore, is the monetary authority thinks of expansive monetary authority, and they keep increasing their NPL. Now, to have a corresponding effect, one expects that the fiscal authority will stop domestic borrowing and think of how to borrow externally so that it won't crowd out the private sector. But from what you have, you still intend to have a huge borrowing domestically. That's also an issue for me. So I don't know whether there's a proper coordination between these two authorities.
Oil price movement, we had to devalue, and it was a sharp devaluation rather than a gradual one. And as the Minister of Budget and Planning said, that created a number of effects, which include inflation, but more specifically, has created this shortage of dollars. And that's really what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a shortage of dollars available, but roughly the same level of demand for dollars, because we have a large propensity to import. I believe around 70% propensity to import. So if you have the same demand and lower supply, definitely the only adjustment is price. Now, the CBN has put a lot of measures in place to try and manage demand and try and stimulate more supply. There are two things I think we're going to be, you will see in 2017. One is much more effort on improving supply. Because if you focus only on demand, you may not achieve anything. You have to bring in greater supply. And we have a number of initiatives that will do that.
The committee promised to begin compilation of reports from the section immediately in order to avoid delay of passage this week.
What we observed is that the first document we received was current $290 Naira per dollar, and the budget came with 305. Then we raised the issue, why the difference? I know the Fiscal Responsibility Act allows the President to make amendments, adjustments, and communicate to the National Assembly. So what we were simply asking them was the communication, which they say they have sent to the National Assembly. And if you notice before, even the end of the meeting, they quickly brought the copy of what they have sent. It's only that possibly they sent it late. We couldn't receive it after the commencement of the interactive session. You see, the essence is to seek further clarification on issues. That's the essence of the engagement, and we're going to see as a committee to review the responses we receive and report back to the House. Because, you know, this document is referred to us to work on it, and in doing so, we have to engage them to seek clarification, to ask questions, and we're going to analyze their responses. We'll report back to the chamber.
And as you know, there's a recession, there's economic downturn, Nigerians are hungry, people are complaining everywhere that government is not doing what they are supposed to do. And without what the situation where people will say is the House that is holding back on any plan the executive have to recover the economy. Again, we also are anxious to consider the Mtef so that if there's any good that will come out of it for the economic recovery, of course, we would be able to take advantage of it.
House has earlier promised to pass the Mtef this week. Ogie, AIT Parliamentary News.